billion security. As tensions between Israel and Iran continue to rise, a senior Iranian official says Tehran is open to limiting uranium enrichment but rejects any call for zero enrichment, calling it unacceptable amid Israeli strikes. The official also ruled out talks with the U.S., urging European powers to step up diplomatic efforts. Iran is urging these European nations to come forward with a clear initiative to break the nuclear stalemate. As diplomatic efforts continue, French President Emmanuel Macron says European powers are pushing for a political solution to the conflict. Macron also says France, Germany, and the UK are putting forward a comprehensive offer to relaunch negotiations. This comes as US President Donald Trump reportedly considered a possible military response, with the war now entering its second week. Let's listen in to what Emmanuel Macron has said.
Et pourquoi, depuis plusieurs jours, la France a une voix claire, simple. Un, rien ne justifie les frappes sur les infrastructures énergétiques et les populations civiles. Rien. Et deux, il faut absolument prioriser le retour à la négociation de fond qui inclut le nucléaire pour aller vers le zéro enrichissement, le balistique pour limiter les activités et les capacités iraniennes, et le financement de tous les groupes terroristes de déstabilisation de la région qu'elle a procédé l'Iran depuis plusieurs années. C'est d'ailleurs...
On the military front, Israel has deployed its Barak air defense system for the first time. The system successfully intercepted an unmanned aerial vehicle as regional alert levels remain high. Meanwhile, the Israeli military has confirmed it is targeting military infrastructure inside western and central Iran. In Iraq, thousands of supporters of powerful cleric Muqtada Sadr took to the streets, rallying against Israel's war with Iran. No to Israel, no to America, chanted protesters in Baghdad's Sadr city. Now we have guests joining us for this discussion. Yossi Cooper-Vesser, he's an Israeli intelligence and security expert from Tel Aviv. Thank you, Yossi, for joining us today. Welcome to NewsX World. What was the strategic objective behind Israel striking Iran's nuclear research site and military site? Do you believe the mission achieved its goal, or is it still continuing?
Well, the objective was to make sure that Iran doesn't have the capability to produce nuclear weapons and doesn't have the capability to produce missiles that can hit Israel with heavy payloads. That was the mission, and we are moving towards having this mission completed. We have been attacking sites that belong to the nuclear program of Iran for a week now. We hit a lot of them and we caused a lot of damage. We hit a lot of the missiles, but there's an alert now as we speak that the new barrage of missiles is on its way towards us from Iran. And we have, so that we know that even though we accomplished a lot, we haven't yet accomplished the entire mission, and we shall have to continue hitting those targets in the coming few days. And hopefully the Americans are going to make their share and take care of the Fordow underground facility of enrichment that the Iranians have, that the Americans have a better way to deal with than us, Israel.
And according to media sources, Yossi, Israel says it's targeting military infrastructure deep inside of Iran. How does Mossad gather intelligence or for such strikes in deep and hostile territory?
Not only Mossad, we have the military intelligence also doing that collection activity. We do it in various ways. We have the ability to cover Iran from the air with our satellites. We know what's going on and what's moving there. We have people working for us. We have ability to listen to all kinds of things, and we collect information and gather it and do whatever is necessary in order to know what's the infrastructure that we have to deal with and how it's moving, how it's functioning. And in due course to be able to take action against it.
And that brings us to another key development from what we saw today. France, Germany, and the UK are pushing a new negotiation offer. Is Israel coordinating with the European powers, or are there divergences in strategic priorities?
Well, it's not clear yet. I think that basically they share our goal of not allowing Iran to have the capability to produce nuclear weapons. They are not that happy that we take military steps in order to make this happen, but that's the Europeans. What can we do? At the same time, they do understand that we have a right to defend ourselves, and that the Iranian purpose in having a nuclear weapon is to gain the capability to use it against Israel. So we cannot be complacent about the efforts of the Iranians to accomplish the goal of having nuclear weapons. The Europeans can do two things. First of all, they can mediate between the Iranians and the Americans. And secondly, they can threaten the Iranians with the possibility of snapping back the sanctions that were in place before the signature of the JCPOA. We have to understand that the JCPOA was totally misbased, because it was based on the idea that there is a possibility to prove that Iran doesn't have a military program. And this was proven wrong, because the Iranians do have a military program, and a military nuclear program. And because of that, and now that the International Atomic Energy Agency have declared that the Iranians had that military program, this entire agreement of the JCPOA is proven to be based on nothing but lies. And that is something that the Europeans should take into account, and they can threaten the Iranians with the snapping back of the sanctions, which would mean that the situation in Iran would be much more difficult for the regime economically wise. And that's something that the Europeans can do in order to put more pressure on the Iranians to show readiness to enter the negotiations with the Americans, and to accept what the Americans are asking, which is the complete withdrawal from all the nuclear project through diplomatic ways, without using force. We are totally in favor of, we don't like using force. If there's a way to solve the problem through diplomatic means, it's even better.
And building on that, Iran is saying that it's willing to limit uranium enrichment but not eliminate it. What do you think about this answer, or what we know from Iran for now? And is this a tactic of them, or will there be more pressure from Israeli operation?
Well, we insist on that they would stop enriching uranium, and this is also the American position. They have to stop enriching uranium. As long as they have the capability to produce, to enrich uranium, everybody knows. Oh, sorry, there's an alert here. Sorry, I have to leave.
Thank you very much, Yossi Cooper-Wasser, for joining us.